All right, everybody, we have some new news on Palantir. A press release just came out today that we're going to get into right now. And let's get into it. I will start reading from it, and then we're going to talk about the significance of this press release. So, June 7th, 2022, this came out around 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Palantir, a leading builder of operating systems for the modern enterprise, today announced it had been recognized as a top performer by Dresner Advisory Services and Palantir's own customers in the 2022 Dresner Wisdom of Crowd Business Intelligence Market Study. So, what is the Dresner Advisory Services? Let's go to them real quick, and let's go to their website. Dresner Advisory Services, the way I interpret them, is a research/consulting firm that basically creates a sort of think tank type of data and knowledge production around companies in the BI, which is business intelligence, data analytics space, that are doing really good. So the way I would compare them is to kind of like Nielsen for TV advertising or TV like ratings. So if you're on, the top 10 Nielsen list, that means Nielsen is a very trusted, authoritative source when it comes to TV advertising and entertainment. So if you're ranking in that list, then advertisers can use the rankings that are official from Nielsen to be able to determine that your content is good enough to buy media and put ads in front of, which makes sense, right? Because you need those sort of objective third parties to be able to validate these types of things. So they describe themselves as a community of expert. You can join a community of like-minded individuals leveraging data into success. And what they do is they produce these reports, feature Dresner's research, insight, and wisdom of crowds reports, offer the most comprehensive and objective insights available for data, analytics, and performance management. These are huge multi $100 billion industries. In these industries, you have third-party kind of consulting research firms to be able to create these types of ranking methodologies in order to be able to validate the systems that exist in the industry itself. Our process is global, encompassing thousands of organizations across all industries, functions, and organization sizes. This is actually a very hard thing to do, to be a third-party think tank within an industry and actually produce meaningful research that people not only are able to pay for, but that are able to actually get value out of when they read your white paper or your reports. It's incredibly difficult to do because you have to do a lot of complex surveys and go to a lot of different people and talk and do unique forms of methodologies that actually show the type of research you're doing is valid and it's not just BS. So it's not easy to be able to do. Now, so that's what they are. That's essentially what Dresner Advisory Services are. Now, this report was interesting because they write, in its first year of coverage, Palantir is generally above the overall sample of all categories of measurement and is an overall leader of both customer experience and vendor credibility models, said Howard Dresner, founder and chief research officer at the firm. In addition, its best-in-class product scalability and consulting professionalism makes a perfect recommend score. We congratulate Palantir on their excellent performance in our annual analytics and BI market assessment. So again, does not Palantir pay these guys or hey, can you write a nice article about us? The reason this is a press release is because it's one of those industry-leading research reports that you want to be on as a data analytics BI company. And you want to be featured in them because you want to be recognized for the good quality work that you do within the industry. Other leading industry experts and people in the industry value this type of research and this type of analysis. The report provides a comprehensive real-world perspective on the market, including analyses of adoption, deployment, data, leadership, organization, budgets, data literacy, drivers of success, objectives, and achievement, software penetration, and technology initiative priorities, as well as industry analyses. Dresner Services and this data-driven study are unique in that they survey and report on end users' assessments. In this instance, Palantir customers from the US and EMEA across industries, including financials, utilities, logistics, governments, and more, completed their survey. All of them ranked Palantir with a perfect 5 recommend score. That was the great part of this PR, that this survey is not just some secret committee that's trying to figure out if Palantir is a good software or not, and they look at the software and they look at their metrics and they try to give a objective analysis, but rather it's going to the people. You go to the people, let the people decide, hey, are you guys good? Are these guys legit? You've been working with them. You're in government, supply chains, logistics. You're this type of company, that type of company. Do you like working with their software, and would you recommend them? And on a scale of 1 to 5, where would you rank them? And all of them ranked Palantir with a perfect 5. And they all recommended them. Palantir COO Shyam Sankar says, "We have always built software we thought would exist for the world that was coming. This rating is particularly meaningful since it is based on the voice of our customers and the frontline users," said Palantir COO Shyam Sankar. So Overall, not bad at all. I think this is a pretty awesome press release. Couple of points of analysis here. Number one, obviously, I think it's important because there's a industry-leading research firm that is recognizing Palantir based upon surveys from end users, not just their own committee. So it sort of gives a more objective understanding of the company and their actual practices within the industry itself. So I think that's a good thing. Number two, these are things that are not going to really move the stock price. I mean, let's go to the stock price right now. And in my market open, we were talking about it every day at 9:20 a.m. for anyone who wants to join the market open. 898. I mean, it's relatively flat. Most of the market was red this morning, so nothing too crazy here. These are things that are absolutely not going to move the stock price, and they're not supposed to move the stock price. I mean, they're just like, you know, they're not. They're just like they're just these little reports that are not going to do anything crazy for the stock price. But from a business perspective, I think this is good for a long-term foundation. These are things that you want to be ranking for, right? It's like dotting your I's and crossing your T's. You got to kind of be on these lists, and you got to be number one on these lists, because if you're in the industry and people read these reports and they might get a lot of potential sales by when this report gets published, and a lot of people get to see the report and they're like, oh, Palantir versus all these other BI tools. Maybe I should go with Palantir. Maybe I should check on Palantir. You get a lot more inbound from there. So from a business percent, it may drive a little bit more business. It may help a little bit more the business. It's not going to help the stock price. It's not going to monumentally change the quarter, but it's good for them to be like, it's not bad. It doesn't hurt at all for them to be named in this type of survey. Number three, and the final point of analysis I'll make here, is that this is what we want to see out of a technology company that's differentiated from the rest of the market. Like, if you are investing in Palantir, you're investing because you think their technology fundamentally architects the way we think about distribution of servers, compute, ontological relationships with data. I mean, there's a lot of sort of technical elements here that you think they can do in a different way. And you think they have proved they can do it in a different way. You've gone through the case studies, you understand the analysis. And if you believe that that's true, they should be getting a perfect 5 out of 5. It's one of those things where it's like, no one should be ranking you lower. Maybe they can rank other parts of your company lower, like the sales process or something like it. But like the actual tech and product itself, it should be 5 out of 5, amazing product. It shouldn't be doubted. And it was just nice to have a little bit more confirmation bias seeing here that the end users agree that Palantir is a perfect 5. They would all recommend it, because when they use the product and they actually get value out of the product, it changes their lives. It makes their businesses more effective, efficient, productive, etc., which is why it's something that they would reasonably use in their own day-to-day lives as well. So I think it makes sense. I think it was good. Awesome little PR, a little bit of news update there. Thank you guys so much for listening to this video, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Bye-bye.